what does your songwriting process look like? And two-part question actually with that. What does your personal songwriting process look like? And for Maverick, is it often you guys writing together and releasing stuff, or you write a song on your own and you bring it to the table, kind of thing?
So I'll answer that one first. So we often write together. We often write together, but sometimes we'll start from a place. So we'll have like a song start or whatever, like you kind of worked on
Mm-hmm.
your own, and you kind of bring it into the session. And so we'll see whatever sticks. Everybody will kind of release whatever their ideas are, and then we'll see what sticks and what we want to flow with. And usually we're all in agreement, like this is what we should, move. Honestly, I don't think there's been a time where we weren't all in agreement to move forward on that. So yeah, and co-writing is unique and
Yeah.
special. And I used to be very much more timid in a co-writing song session. Now I'm more like active, but then I also can take different roles. So, and I might be the one that starts the conversation, because we always start from conversation. Generally, we start from conversation and then maybe go into worship, or worship and then conversation, and then somehow a song comes out. I may start the conversation and might not contribute much in terms of the actual lyric placement, but was a part of like, well, what about this? Okay,
Sure.
this, okay, pull the scripture, that. And then sometimes it's like I can be like the editor, and it's kind of like, oh, instead of saying, river, let's say water or whatever. I don't have any great
Classic
thoughts today.
words.
But classic worship
Exactly.
words 101. Yeah, so I can like kind of do that. And then there are times where I'm just like, no, I feel like, okay, this is the line, and just kind of giving out
Hmm.
lines. Or some, and I'm super like strong on melodies too.
Mm.
Like I like to give melodies. So I might not have like the words, but I'm like, do 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 do
Yeah.
do, and then that's what we stick with. So um yeah, I think it looks different in each situation depending on who you're writing with, because we don't write with the same
True.
people every single time. And so everybody kind of just finds their spot and fits in, and usually it works. I can be honest, I don't think I've never been in a session where there's been like any beef or drama. There is always tension. It's not easy, especially when you wanted to say river and that person's
Sure.
like, what about water? It's like, no, water could be anything. I want, there are moments where you want to fight for your word, and we do sometimes, because honestly, at Mav, we're family, so we get to be like, yo, you said river in your last three songs, like come on, like let's say something else, but we learn how to get through that
Sure.
tension and write, and it's
Yeah.
not easy. So I never want to make it seem like it's just like easy peasy. No, it's difficult, it's hard, and it took me a while to get comfortable co-writing, and really bring my best, like put my best foot forward even in that space, because I was so
Sure.
nervous, like, oh my goodness, are they gonna like my word? But personally, when I write personally on my own, I don't force myself to write.
Interesting.
And yeah, because I'm like,
There's two
there's
schools
enough,
of thoughts on
having
that,
to write.
like the whole like, you do it like a job kind of thing, and what comes comes, and then there's also you write when
Right.
you feel like writing. That's interesting.
Yeah, I do not force myself to write. There was a season where I wrote a song every single
Mm.
day, and that was because I felt like I felt, and so songs weren't for, they were just for me. And so there are things that I will do in life to just sharpen my skill and work at it. But I find that the best songs out of me come from just where I am and like flow
Hmm.
naturally. So usually I write from worship. I'm just like singing, flowing or something. And then there's um, some like four lines that come up, and then I'm like, okay, I'll take that even in the moment, either in the moment, or I'll take it later. I'll listen back and be like, okay, I want to write off of this. Sometimes I'll bring that into a co-writing session, but sometimes I'll just write it by myself. Other
Hmm.
times it'll come out of my personal like prayer time with the Lord, or honestly frustration, like I'm upset with somebody or I'm sad, and so I'm like, I'm going to my studio to write,
Yeah.
and so I'll go and I'll write a song, and that's how I deal with all the things.